rotate your phone. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for joining us in our live stream as well as the read broadcast. Today we have a very interesting topic called the woke generation. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about what does it mean to be woke, what area are we going to be woke about, and everything about it. So what I want you to do for me is that you need to get your book and your jotters and your pen and write down your questions. Whatever you think we need to talk about, put it in the comment section. Hey, I'm Dr. Yanni Pisofome. I'm the founder of Emerald Foundation, an organization that organizes programs, a platform for younger people, for our own generation to express their gifts and their potentials. We believe that in you, yes, you, lies a well of potentials, and if harnessed properly, we can change the world together. So what I want you to do is go on the comment section, tell us where you're watching from, leave a comment below, give me lots of love, and let's get started. I have a very good friend of mine, Dr. Alpha Joshua, and he's here today, and we want to talk about what does it mean to be woke. But first, let me introduce him to you. Dr. Alpha Joshua is a medical doctor, a public speaker, an author, a gifted teacher of God's word. His desire is to impact the world and the generation and beyond. He is the founder and CEO of Alpha Prime, an organization that has helped influence many life-changing people in the medical field, in national building, in nation building, in youth empowerment and transformation in and outside Nigeria. Please, let's welcome Dr. Alpha Joshua.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So today I want to talk about what does it mean to be woke, because we have this topic, I've heard it a lot, stay woke, be woke, become woke. But what does it truly mean to be woke?
To be woke. First of all, it's actually a very controversial topic or theme. I'll give you a little bit of a background.
Okay.
Woke actually became very popular in 2014. There was a guy named Michael Brown. He was shot dead in the United States of America by the police. So this whole racial thing, then the Black Lives Matter stuff started. So in 2014, that was when this whole thing started. Woke. So they were like, everybody needs to be awoken. We need to stop social injustice, racism, and stuff like that. However, fast forward to 2020, it became a thing.
Okay.
So now everybody's like, you need to awake. So now, in simple terms, to be woke means to be actively aware of something. Now look at it like this. Imagine you were in a cage.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, you're broken out. So that's what to be woke means. Like you come out of something. So to be actively aware.
Oh, so if we're saying to be woke, it means to come out, to break out for something.
To break out, yeah.
But I have a question.
Yes,
are we truly woke? Because we know the word, we say, now you've explained this to be actively aware. But are we truly woke? Are we truly actively aware? Are we truly broken out from anything of even society as a whole?
The truth is, I can't really give one answer. It's yes and it's no. Why is it yes and no? There are about 7.8 billion people here on earth. So you can't say everybody is not doing something while others are doing something. So I would say yes and no. Now, why am I saying yes and no? Some persons are positively woke. Okay. Some others think they are woke, while some people are still sleeping.
Oh, but now you said that there's positive woke, that means there should be negative woke also.
Definitely.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, I have another question, and which says that what areas do we need to become more woke about? What do we need to become more woke about? In what areas? Because there are different places. We can be awake in our life. We can be awake in our community. So, what different areas can we be actually woke?
You can be woke mentally.
Okay.
You can be woke spiritually. You can be woke environmentally. You can be woke physically. There are so many areas that you can be woke, actually. It's not just streamlined to one particular thing. Spiritual, physical, mental, environmental, you can be woke.
So in summary, I would define being woke as being actively aware of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, environmentally, like in every area.
Every area.
So can you say that being woke is like self-awareness?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that is interesting. Okay, so the next question I have is that, okay, now we know we need to be awake. Now we're aware, but sometimes we find ourselves struggling because it's not enough for us to have knowledge, because sometimes we have knowledge, sometimes we have the desire, we want to do some things, but we are not really we're not really aware. So some things are hindering us. So can you list out some things that hinder us from being actively aware?
The truth is that's going to be a very long list.
Oh, we have enough time.
All right. See, for me, the things that hinder us, there are so many, but I'll mention few. Identity crisis.
Oh.
Lack of purpose, no vision, laziness, procrastination, people giving excuses, okay, bad company and impatience.
Oh, that is a lot.
That's a lot. But that's not all.
Oh, there's more?
But I'll stay with this for now.
Okay, let's talk about identity crisis.
Okay.
What really about identity crisis just explain it a little before that for us.
Okay, see, identity crisis, I'll define it, is a state in which a person is uncertain about who they really are and their proper role in life. So you don't know who you are and you do not know your purpose. That is identity crisis. Now, Miles Monroe said something in Blessed Memory that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
True.
So every person on earth came with a purpose, but we do not know, and that's how we have identity crisis. I will try to explain it further. In Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10, the Bible says that for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. That scripture is actually very powerful.
True.
Now, I say we are his workmanship. It means that we are what? God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus. It means we have the image of God in us for what? Good works. So now, you were created in Christ to do good works. It doesn't stop there. The works that you were created to do, you were given beforehand. So as you were sent to earth, as you were in your mother's womb for 9 months, there was an assignment waiting for you. So now look at it like this. You were in primary school, right? Secondary school, obviously you were. And we all know that teachers give assignments or homework, right?
Sure.
Now when they give you an assignment or a homework, you are to do it at home, to bring it the next day to school to submit it. Look at it from the spiritual angle or life angle. God gave us an assignment. We are going to return to God. He's going to ask us, what have you done with what I gave to you? So this is the thing. We do not know who we are, who we truly are, and we do not know our purpose on earth. Now let me give you another example. A Toyota car company or a Lexus or any car company, they make the cars. They have a manual. No matter how much you read that manual, you will not know how to function or how to fix the car or do whatever you want to do with that car like the manufacturer.
True, very true.
So God created us. So if we don't even know our identity, who should we ask?
God, because He created us.
So identity crisis is a major problem.
But when we think about identity crisis, how do we talked about it. Another thing we talked about was procrastination and excuses. Because we are awake, we know we should do this thing, but we have a lot of excuses. Why? Why do we have a lot of excuses, and why do we procrastinate so much?
See, I will join these three together: laziness, excuses, procrastination. Proverbs 6 verse 9. There's something the Bible says there. It says, "How long will you slumber?"
True.
O sluggard, that's all these lazy people. When will you rise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. And it says, so shall your poverty be. So people like giving excuses. Why? Because you probably just want to feel good and just look for a reason why they shouldn't do that particular thing. and people are just lazy. I'll give you another example. Like I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I typed something on my WhatsApp status. You know, the folly of indolence. I did it purposely. It basically makes no sense to most people. The folly of indolence, and I was just trying. I was trying something like experimental stuff. So I was looking at it. How many views? How many views? How many views? I saw over 50 or 60 people looked at it. Then some people were asking me, "What does it mean?" I was like, "Yeah, my experience is working." do you know what I'm talking about now?
Yes.
Some people were even too lazy to check the dictionary what folly and what indolence means. I could just say foolishness of laziness. That's what it means. But I did it purposely to use synonyms just to see if persons were going to check for the meaning. Like when I like people were asking me what does it mean, I'm like, my God, this is what I'm talking about. Laziness. Now, laziness excuses, but actually there's no room for excuse.
So we've talked about, if you're joining us now, we've talked about what it means to be woke, to be actively aware and to come out, to break out. And we talked about that we can be awake in different areas, in mentally, physically, spiritually, in our environment, social justice, in our government. We need to be more awakened.
Definitely.
But another thing is that some things prevent us. We know these things. We know we should do better, become better. You know, we know that there is more for us, but sometimes we hesitate a little. And our guest told us that some things that hold us back is identity crisis, excuses, no purpose, no procrastination, laziness, and lots more. You know, there's something the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Because we know we should do something, but if you can't see what you should do, where are you going to? They say a blind man cannot lead a blind man. And it's true. And I read a book about self-awareness, because I think the whole thing about being awoke is being self-aware.
True.
Because if you're not aware mentally, if you're not aware of what you're thinking, if you're not aware of your physical life, if you're not aware of your spiritual life, what do I need to do part time? How are my thoughts affecting my life? How is my emotions affecting me? How is the people around me affecting my life? You cannot handle anything. You cannot deal with situations. So in a sum for now is that work means to be aware, and there are things that prevent us. Okay, the one more question I have is, how do we become more aware? Because we know we should become aware, but how do we become more aware? In what areas? And I really want us to have this in practical steps, because we keep coming to church, and we keep going out, and we keep going for conferences, and people keep telling us, be aware, be woke. But how do we do it step by step?
See, if I tell you I have a very simple answer to this, you won't believe me.
Okay.
Perhaps you might be thinking I'll give you one complex theory or explain some wonderful things.
Okay.
But I have just three words to three things to say. Press the undo button.
Oh.
Yeah. Press the undo button, develop yourself, and take action. That's all.
Oh. Press the undo button,
Develop yourself and take action. Obviously, I have to explain. Let me go forward. Now, remember I listed some things on the previous questions. I said spoke about identity crisis, purpose, procrastination, so many things, right? Now, to press the undo button, when you're typing and stuff like that, and you make a mistake, you do what? You undo. True or false?
True.
Now, I've listed so many things. These are the things that hinder you. Undo them. Do you understand? So if you know you have identity crisis, know who you are. So you have to do the opposite of everything. If you know you don't know your purpose, discover your purpose. If you know you're lazy, don't be lazy. If you know you procrastinate, stop procrastinating. If you know you're not disciplined, be disciplined. If you know you have bad company, have good company. Now, I'm going to explain that in details. Now, people are very impatient, because among the list of things I said was impatience. Now, we live in a generation whereby we think to be woke is to just get things done very fast. That's not true. So that's why from the beginning, you said there's a positive and negative. Now, the Bible says something. Now, there is a way that seems right to man, but the end of it is what? Is destruction. Do you understand? Now, what I'm trying to say is that our generation, we are very impatient. You know, you see people start YouTube, what is it called? YouTube channels. They want to see 1,000 likes in 1 week. It won't happen. They want to see 1 million views in 2 weeks. It won't happen. It doesn't work like that. You have to be patient. There's something the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11, that wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished. But he who gathers by labor will increase. So hard work pays. You have to be patient. You have to stick to the process. Do you know why? At the end, you will shine, and your shine will last. But those people that try to be in a hurry to get there very fast, their life diminishes. Now, there's something that you have to be disciplined. Discipline is a very big topic that we have to take hours and hours to explain. But there's something I would like to explain that I really like so much. Company.
Oh.
Bad friends. Wrong company. In as much as we've heard this a lot of times, there's even a very popular scripture that says, what is it even called? Evil communication corrupt good deeds or good manners. It sounds like we know, same old. What's the difference? It's a common thing. It's not a common thing. Now, I'm not just referring to friends that smoke. I'm not just referring to friends that drink.
Sure.
Now, I'm not just referring to friends that do crazy things. I'm not judging anybody. Obviously, we can, but negative friends, people that don't speak positively, people that are not faith-filled, people that do not even align with your purpose. I was talking to someone one day and I was like, with the kind of friends I have around me, I don't think I can go wrong.
True.
Do you know? Because when I was checking them a few days ago and I listened first one like, Once these guys see you going down, they will just, bros, you need to go up, So I want to ask you a question. Do you know why when you go to the market, especially in Nigeria, you see that snails are they always cover snails in the market, but they never cover the crabs. Do you know why?
I think in crabs they always try to crawl out, and when they crawl out, one of them will have to pull the other person down.
You're right. Now, snail and crab, which one is faster?
Crab is faster.
It's faster.
Yeah.
So why do they cover the faster animal and not the slower animal? Now it's like I'm the one asking you the questions, right? Okay.
Because they know the snail's not going to go anywhere.
No matter how slow the snail is, they always find a way to escape.
Sure.
If you leave the cover or whatever open, you think that it's very slow. I can stay 1 day, 2 days, nothing will happen. Go and come back, you won't see the snail there. You know that snail has speed. However, the crab, when one is going up, right, the other one pulls it down. That's why even if you leave a crab in the bowl for 1 week or 2 weeks, they will never escape. So when you have people around you that are not positive, it's going to affect you real good. Wow. So you have to associate with people that have the right mentality, people that they always want to drive you, people that call you and say, hey, you need to do this, you've not done this, you've not done that. It's very, very important. Now, the last, I said, first of all, you need to press the undo button. You need to develop yourself. I need to take action. Good. Now, in developing yourself, how do you develop yourself mentally? Spiritually, very important. You need to develop yourself environmentally. You need to develop yourself in so many ways. How do you develop yourself? You have to read. You have to read. I cannot overemphasize. I have to just keep saying this. You have to read. The truth is that I wasn't a reader.
Oh, but now you're an author.
Funny. I attended leadership school, right? God asked me. And they gave us an assignment, okay, that we should write a poem. I said, sir, like, I don't even listen to poems. Like, I can't even read a poem, and now you're telling me to write a poem. Like, seriously. All through my primary school, secondary school, any book they gave us to read, I never read it. So when you're telling me, have you read this? I'm like, do you know the story of it? Like, no, I don't. Because I wasn't really interested. But anyways, I went to leadership school. I started teaching me things. And he said, you must write a poem. On stewardship, I can never forget. And then I wrote the poem. And I gave it to him. And he said, I read it to the whole class. I'm like, oh my God. Then I read it. It was like, your poem is beautiful. I'm like,
Just like that.
just like that. I don't write, but the idea is that you can't say you cannot do it. The I am should be removed from impossible to become possible.
Yes.
Do you understand? So you have to develop yourself. So I went, I did my research, how to write poem, this, that, and I wrote a poem. You know, and it was nice. You need to read. Now, after developing yourself, the last point I said, you have to take action.
Yes.
Now, this is one thing that people do not do. People write visions. There are people that have diaries of visions, but the visions remain in the book.
You know, one of my friends told me that all you do is he said, "Piece, all you do is to write your visions. All your visions are on a piece of paper. You keep leaving it on the book." And it sounded funny at the time, but I went back and I thought about it, like, maybe that's actually true. Most of the things I do, yes, I'm active, but some of the things I should have done, I've just had all the research and I've never actually taken action. So that's really very important.
In taking action, you can also take the right action and the wrong action.
What is the right and wrong action?
That's just the beauty of life. See, anything that you are doing that is leading you to your destiny or helping you to fulfill your purpose or your assignment on earth is the right action.
Sure.
There are action steps you can also take that will pull you away from your purpose.
True.
Do you understand?
Very
and these are all the things that we've been discussing today.
True.
You get. So, have you ever heard of the ripple effect?
Yes, I have. I think it's the effect that when you throw a stone inside the river, there's the river, what do you call it? It forms. It creates a ripple. Yes, a ripple over and over and over again. Yes.
Now there are different ways you can create ripple effects. Do you understand? But there's something I want to make you understand. In a river, like picture a very big river. There are stones under, right?
Of course.
Why is there no ripple?
Because there's no action. There's nothing moving it.
Thank you. A stagnant stone cannot cause a ripple.
Oh.
Do you understand? So there must be an external force. And that's why Isaac Newton says that an object will continue to remain in the state of rest except acted upon by an external force. So every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you do not do nothing, nothing will happen.
Very true.
Do you understand? Nothing will happen. So this is what happens. People have visions. They do nothing about it. People read, but they do not practice what they read.
True.
Do you understand? So there are people that have read and read and read and read and read, but they have not done anything about it. It will surprise you that I've not read as many books as some people, but yet I've done more.
Very true.
Now let me give you an example. Alpha Prime. I had the idea in my second year of medical school, but 4 years I did nothing, and nothing did itself.
True.
So until my final year, I started doing something, and ever since then, it has been beautiful. We've been moving forward and moving forward. Now, for 4 good years, I refused to throw the stone, so there was no ripple effect. So you always have to take action. It's not. This is where the excuse comes, like, I don't think I can.
Very true.
See, the thing is that can't should not be in your dictionary. Trust me, the moment I knew about that, there was no. See, can't. Me, no one I'm discussing, for example, I discuss with my siblings and they tell me, oh, you do this, you do. I say, see, my dear, where my brain is far. I cannot think the way an average person thinks. Why? Because I know my identity. I know who I am and I know my purpose. So when you have this thing, take action and things will work well for you.
Wow. Okay, we've like the information is so much, and I think I need to break it down again small so we can understand what we're talking about, because what you said is really important. If we know we have everything, we have the vision, we have the ideas, we have all the knowledge, but if we don't take action, we'll go nowhere. You know, Maxwell says something, say everybody have good intention. We all have good intention. We want to be rich, we want to be popular, we want to have money. But what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Now, what are you doing it to be significant? Someone has said that the difference between value and significant value. Some people are adding value. You say you're adding value. You're reading
value
books.
is not significant.
Yes, you're reading books. You're watching YouTube videos. You're listening to messages. Whatever you're doing, but is it adding significant value in your life?
You know what? Like people that do all these things, there's something we usually say in Nigeria and Africa. You catch Rema.
Yes.
So these people they say, oh, Rema. After the Rema,
what next?
Do you understand?
True.
So they're just like, ooh, Rema. They're like, this one hits me. What yes, next? It hit you, but what next?
True.
You need to take active steps.
Yes.
Conscious, deliberate, determined efforts.
Ooh.
Your efforts has to be conscious
and
deliberate and determined.
True, very true. And if you want to really talk about it, because we as Africans, I believe that we're talking to a lot of Africans and other people too, but especially Africans, we have so much information. We read, because before, normally they say if you want to add an information from a black person, put it in a book, but that is no more. We read, but the problem is, why is it that as learned as we are still stuck the same way we are previously? So knowledge is not enough, because you that said something. You said knowing is not enough. Understanding it is important. Yeah. And if you listen to him, he said at the end of the day, it all comes back to identity. It all comes back to purpose. It all comes back to knowing yourself, being self-aware. Because there's a way you will know yourself. It streamlines you. It streamlines your friendship. It streamlines the people around you. It streamlines what you do. It streamlines the action you take. Because you're no more. Some people are like, you have changed, but yeah, we're not going the same way anymore. Yes, you're just sitting there, you're looking, okay, well, I'm okay, everything is going to be fine. When is it going to be fine? When are you going to do what you're supposed to do? When are you going to move? When are you going to take action? I was telling my dad about Emerald Foundation, like I think when I went home last year, and he was telling me, this kind of thing. And after I said, Daddy, come, please. I said, I know that. I know that if I
your father must be watching.
Yeah. He still send my pocket money after. And he was like, so all these things you are doing, it's not going to be distracting to you. And after I said, Daddy, please come first. I know you that you have been praying for me since when I was a kid. Going by, oh God, let my child be great. I said, when will I be great? Immediately I said, he just kept quiet and looked at me like, this girl.
Something.
But it's the truth.
Something interesting. I'm not trying to downgrade Africa or downgrade Nigeria, but if you compare, okay, please forgive me for this analysis, but if you check the growth of other nations, that's like when you check the age bracket, like the youth from 15 to 35, if you check their success rate is way higher than the success rate of Africans. I know some people might want to be saying it's the fault of the government. Remember, there is no excuse.
True.
There is no excuse. There are people, there's this guy, his name is I think Jeremiah Malo or something. He's an inventor. How many inventors do we have in Nigeria, in Africa, in other countries? In Africa, how many people? A lot
of people.
But how many of them are using their ideas to do good? And during this coronavirus whole pandemic stuff, the guy did what? He made ventilators from local materials, And I was like, wow, he didn't wait for the government, See, there is always a way out. There's something, I think it was Ibim when someone said something that the fact that you don't have, there is no limited information. There is no, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. You just don't have enough information about it. There is always a way out. We say we are woke, but are we truly woke? We are woke in what sense? Everybody wants to do music, movies, fashion, popular stuff, but is that our assignment? How are we woke? Are we woke positively or are we woke negatively? Because at the end of the day, you're going to meet your maker and he's going to ask you, what have you done? What I gave to you? So are we truly woke? That is the question.
Yes. So I don't know if you've gotten a lot of things. If you have questions, please leave the comment section. We promise to read all of them and answer your questions. And we've learned so much. I wonder if you want us to really understand that we're talking about the woke generation. And I know you've heard about it multiple times. But do we know what it means? And we've talked about it, that it means being actively aware. Now, I like the word actively. You are an active participant. You're not just passive. You're not just sitting around. You're actively, not just aware. Okay, for example, you know that on your street, if you live on the street, there's dirt on it. But are you actively aware that dirt, if you step on it, you can get infections from it?
True.
Now, are you actively aware enough that you will not join your neighbors to put your own trash on the street, that you put it at the appropriate place? So it's not enough to be aware, because we're all aware. We're all aware of the things going on. We're all aware of the amount of people that have died from coronavirus, what our government is doing wrong, what our problem is. But are we actively aware, and what are we doing about it? Because Mary Celeste said something. I think she said that if everyone will sweep their front door, there will not be any trash on the road. The whole street will be clean. So every one of us, is up to us, is our responsibility for us to do better, become better, be more. I think that's my favorite word. Become better, do more, be more. There's no laziness. You want to be lazy, there's no excuse. You must do the work. See, there's one book I was reading and I said, it's not magic. There's no magic trick. You see these successful people. Have you ever think about the amount of hours they put in? They wake up early.
A lot.
Some of them read 4 books in a month. Can you do that? So they listen to messages every day.
They read and practice.
Exactly. They read and practice. So you see, when they are enlightened, when they are talking, you're looking at them. But no, they put in that work. When they are going to work, they listen to messages, to stuff that will help them to grow. They take their health seriously. They learn how to communicate. They do what is necessary. So when they have the millions, you're angry. You're pissed. But they did the work. I know of a friend of mine, right? He had some financial challenges, and a door opened up for him to start working, and I knew how he worked. Now he's swimming in millions. But when if you see him, you'll be jealous. He has millions. How did he buy his car? How did he buy? No, there was a time he was traveling from city to city to city to promote his product, to promote his brand, but nobody saw that. So you must do it in the work. And don't forget, a stagnant stone cannot create action, cannot create a ripple effect. So you can have all the knowledge that we've spoken, right? We've talked about being awakened, we've talked about excuses, identity crisis, no vision, purpose, procrastination, excuses. Whatever we've talking about press the reset button. Because you know all these things, what are you going to do? The undo button, yes. Press the undo button, develop yourself. We cannot keep saying it enough. Develop yourself. Not just actively. Read the book, practice it. Watch the message, practice it. Learn something. Don't keep the knowledge in your head. Teach someone else. Actively develop yourself and take action. And there's something. The last part I want to talk about is impatience. You must be patient with yourself. Sometimes I look at myself and I tell myself, "Peace, I'm proud of myself." And it sounds weird, as if I have pride issues, but no, I know where I'm coming from. I know the struggles that I had, and I know what I needed to do, or the things I needed to do to be here, and all the things I've done. But one thing I tell myself, please be patient, because if you are not patient, you just frustrate yourself for nothing, and you will just get tired. Like, why is it not working? But no, they did the work behind the scene.
There's this popular man in Nigeria now, Fela Duroti. People call him Mr. Nigeria. I love him so much. I watch his videos and I follow him on Instagram and everything. But if I ask you, when did you know Fela Duroti?
I've known him for a long time, but it became very popular, I think, towards the last election.
So, like 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you check his videos on YouTube, they go far back as 9 years, 10 years, 11 years. He has been doing this thing for years. Do you understand? But he just really became very, very, very popular now. Now or just a few years back. He did the work. Do you understand? And now everything is speaking for itself. There is always a reward.
Alright, so we're about to finish up, and I want to thank our guest for joining us today. I want to ask him for his last words. What does he have for us? And then we'll round up. If you have any questions, please leave in the comment section and we'll answer them. So we can go ahead, please.
Alright, no problem. See, for my last words, I would just try to say the same thing. Something that is very important is identity. Do all you can to know yourself. Because that's just the first step. When you know yourself, it makes so many things easy. discover yourself and just press the undo button, develop yourself, and for Christ's sake, take action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have one question. Someone said, for a young teenager, how do you explain what a vision board is?
A vision board.
Yes.
Do you want to explain that?
Okay, I'll try and explain it first because so every year, let me make it really simple. Okay, so I will start with vision is what you want to do for yourself. What do you want for yourself? I asked that question. What do you want? Because sometimes we don't sit and ask ourselves, what do I want? Not what my parents want, not what my community wants, not what my environment. What do I want? And you have to be able to catch that vision. You never say, write the vision and make it plain. So when you've caught that vision, so for example, at the beginning of the year, you want to write an exam, you want to clear a debt, you want to start a new business, leave an old relationship, or get married. First thing, you've caught that vision in your brain, you have to write it down. Because your brain is not enough, it's not strong enough to keep those words or those visions. You write it down. Number 2, you have to create pictures for it. What I do is that I have a vision board on my wall. I write out those things. So pay debt 20,000 naira or $500. I write it down, and if possible, have a picture of money attached to it, and I put it on the wall. I write start a new business. I write it down, I put it on the wall. And whatever vision, buy a new car, get married, whatever the vision is, you keep it on the wall. Don't forget, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain, that he may run with it. So the point of the vision board is that as you keep seeing it, your brain keep looking for solutions, keep looking for ways to create that to bring it to pass. So for example, you see, when you wake up in the morning and you see 20,000 naira to clear debt, your brain start thinking, if I save this 10 naira, if I save this $100, if I save this $50, I'll be able to pay my debt by June 30th, right? If your brain sees business, okay, I can contact my friend for this business, I can write this person for this thing, and your brain start looking for ways to come up with solution. So it comes back to having similar to purpose and vision.
Yeah, it comes back to all those. But there was something you said very quickly. At that part, it says that you may run with it. Now, I like that part so much because now there are people that have created the vision.
Yes.
Now you're seeing it every morning on the wall or every time you get it. But what are you doing to make sure that you actually do what is on that vision board? Do you understand? So it's not just enough to be looking at it.
True.
Do something about it.
Take action.
So take action.
Well,
yes.
we're about to take action. Okay, someone asked a question, said, you spoke about personal development. What do personal development start from? Where does personal development start from? And how do one begin the personal development journey?
Where do personal development start from? And how do one begin the personal development journey? It's not so complex, actually. You know, as I said from the beginning, discover yourself, your identity, and your purpose. Now, after that, personal development. Now, this is me. Just take yourself now. What do you need to do to actualize that vision, to fulfill your purpose, and to do your assignment? Do you understand? Now, this is myself. I want to be, let me see, the richest man in the world or something like that. What are the steps? Do you have a mentor? What kind of books do you read? True. You can't just read any book.
True.
Do you understand? You have to be careful the kind of book you read. If you want to read book on developing yourself, like maybe knowing your identity, for example, you have to check for authors that have something very strong in that area. Do you understand? So in developing yourself, right, you need to ask yourself the same question of what do I want? When you know what you want, you know your identity, you know what you go for. Do you get? It's not so complex in personal development. Yes. Just read books in that area. Have a mentor. Mentors are very important. Yes. Have someone you can go back to guide you and ask questions. Say, okay, this is sir or ma. What can I do to, we can talk about a lot of things, but I think time will fail us to do it.
And another thing I normally do is that, there are 4 aspects of life: physical, spiritual, mental, and social, environmental.
Yeah.
So you can put your goals and your personal development. What do I need to grow in spiritually? What do I need to grow physically? How do I grow mentally? And how do I grow socially? So you can actually now come up with the ways. I'm going to grow spiritually by praying more, reading my Bible more.
Exactly.
Physically by exercising and eating healthy. Mentally by reading books, watching videos, and the last one socially.
Personal development is actually all
it's
these
all
things
round.
combined.
Yes, it's all round.
Do you get it? I think there's one more question
So
here.
there's a question that says, can we throw more light on the word focus, because we live in a generation that is so easily distracted?
If we start this one today, I was trying to avoid this part, okay, but apparently I can't afford it. I avoid it. See, focus, and focus. You see, picture a hunter. They have one target: to kill that antelope or to kill that goat or whatever animal that is there. Why must they kill it? If they don't kill it, there will be no food. Do you understand? So the hunter will do anything in his capacity to make sure that he kills that animal. Because if he doesn't kill that animal, there will be no food. The same thing with a lion and a gazelle, or a lion and an antelope. You see, when they are trying to attack the gazelle, they lay down in the grass first. Do you understand? They don't really, they can't stand, because when they stand, the gazelle sees them or the antelope sees them. So they lay down, they are focused. They don't look left or right. It's in the Bible. It says walk straight. Don't look left or right. Just keep going straight. Forgive me for saying this. Don't be like women when they are shopping. Women always look left and right. You cannot be walking with a lady and your head will be straight. I don't know if you see that your neck does not hurt or something. Do you understand? Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, when the lion is trying to hunt, they go slowly. That's patience. They are careful. They are watching to know when to strike. The same thing with focus, like as human beings now. Now there are distractions everywhere. Now remember that when the lion is trying to catch the gazelle, birds are flying. They are singing. The breeze is blowing. The leaves are shaking. Some other animals are walking. Other things are happening. Yet it doesn't pay attention. It's just focused on getting that thing. Why? Because it's either this or that. If I don't get you, my kids will not eat. If I don't get you, I will not eat. So it's focused. So now avoid the distraction. We all know the distractions now. We know the distractions. Don't need to deceive ourselves. Social media is a distraction. Now, I'm not saying that you should not utilize it, but utilize it positively. Now, who are you following? There's something I did one day. I checked the followers on Instagram of some celebrities. That's the sister people you celebrate. Anyways, let me not go there. Now, when you check the followers, you see 10 million, 20 million, 15 million. So one day I said, let me check the followers of Fela Durotee. He's not able to have 1 million. You see some thousands. You check another person that is, impacting Sam Adeyemi, even these white speakers. You check their followers, like, okay, so who are the millions following these other people? I don't want to call names to avoid some issues. But when you see them, be like, these people literally offer nothing. All they do for some people is to expose their body or do something, but they have followers, and the youths are the ones following them. I can't say my dad is the one following them. He does not even use Instagram or his, So who are those people following those? You get. So we are distracted by social media and so many things. The idea is to be fixated on your purpose. And when you understand the importance of your purpose, you will not deviate from it.
So I think focus comes back to having purpose, also having identity. So I think the summary of this thing is you must know your identity, you must be focused, you must know who you are, and you must have where you're going to. We have another question. So you mentioned you started your organization 4 years after you got the vision. What if the idea was really meant to be kicked off when you started? Do you really always have to run with a vision once you get it? What if when you got the idea, it's not the perfect time to start implementing it? Does it mean you procrastinated or you called or can we call it proper timing? Sorry, the question is long.
Your question is so long. Wow. So, anyways, the question is not complex. It's very simple. Now, I said I got the vision in my second year of studies, and I didn't do anything for 4 years. Let me be honest with you. I was lazy, very lazy. I didn't plan. I didn't do anything. I was just lazy. Now, I understand something you said. You said, what if it was proper planning? Now, in my own case, it wasn't proper planning. But should in case for that person, it was proper planning, or he had to do some things, now that's where spiritual development comes in.
True.
You have to
what are you doing in that
pray.
period? Yes.
You have to pray. What are you doing in that period? And if it's God that gives you something, you also have to go to him for direction.
True, very true.
Do you understand? So I don't think in my own case, since the question was addressed to me, 4 years was too long.
True.
Do you understand? 4 years was too long. For another person, it might be 1 year, 2 years. For every person, for each individual, it differs. Do you understand? It differs. So, yes, for some people, it takes 4 years. Some is even 5. Some is even 10. But I can tell you with all confidence that mine wasn't. I was just lazy.
I think another thing is that you have to be, like we said, actively. So, for example, right, you are not, you have an idea, you have a plan, right? And you are like, you want to wait. You have to be sure that you are instructed to wait.
So God,
because sometimes we confuse like waiting, confuse laziness for waiting. Like it's not yet time. It's not yet time. No. Some things is now. You need to do it at this moment. You know the funny thing is that Emerald Foundation started is when I was in second course also. Yeah. So I had to, when I got home, I brought my friends together. We started doing worship programs, and 2 years after we did another one. So it was not waiting. I was just taking action. For me, I was like, okay, if God give me an idea, I'm going. Sometimes it's scary because I ask myself, do I have to wait? I'm not really a waiting kind of person. I do it now. But you have to be sure that it is not excuse, is not your laziness. You have to be sure that you are asked to wait. And what are you doing while waiting? And what is the deadline for the waiting? Because you can be waiting and you can be waiting for 6 years, 10 years, so the Lord gave you. And sometimes the actions, if you don't take it now, why would normally people say take actions now is because whatever you don't do now, your interest drops.
Definitely.
So if you're not actively waiting, in 4 years' time, your interest will not be as much as before if you're not.
God will not just give you a vision in year 1 and or 2010, then he will tell you not to do anything for 20 years or 10 years or 5 years. You must be doing something. Do you understand? Either you are developing yourself mentally, or you're developing yourself spiritually, or you are learning more about life. For example, if somebody wants to be the president of any country in maybe the next election, he didn't get the idea now.
Not a long time ago.
It has been there. It was just cooking up.
True.
It has been there. Do you understand?
Very
so
true.
you have to actively, plan.
All right, no problem. Anyway, so I think we'll round up now because our time is fast spent. So I want to do we'll do a summary and we'll close. Yes. So we'll talk about the woke generation. It means to be actively aware, to come out, to break forth. Yes, and I want to encourage us to break forth. And there are the areas mentally, physically, spiritually, environmentally. We need to become more aware. Read news. Start reading news, start getting information. And the reason things that hinder us is identity crisis, excuses, lack of purpose, laziness, lack of discipline, impatience, and lots more. And we need to do our assignment. We have an assignment on this earth, and we must do it because we ask for the things that we did not do. And we talked about how to overcome all these things is press the undo button, develop yourself, and take action. A stagnant stone, I love that word. A stagnant stone cannot cause a ripple effect. So you must be active. You must not only just know. You must not only just catch the vision. You must be able to take action and do what you need to do. The whole summary: discover your purpose, have your identity, have your morals, have your core values, what you can and cannot do. So thank you so much, Dr. Alpha, for joining us today. We had an amazing time. Now, lastly, I want to invite you for the Confident Women's Conference taking place this weekend, 15th to 17th of May, Friday to Saturday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time and 6 p.m. Ukraine time. Day one, we're going to talk about how to write your CV, marketing yourself, how to start a business, because most of us want to start businesses and we have no clue. What do we need? What investments can we invest in this period? Day 2, we'll talk about effective communication in relationship. Day 3, we'll talk about becoming, and we'll have discussions on leadership, purpose, and lots more. Be there. It's open to everyone. Don't tell me you're a man, you're a female.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know.
asked that
Yes,
question.
please, you are invited.
Well,
Males.
you say it's confident.
Yes,
woman
it's the
conference.
woman's conference, but our topics are not only related
Why are
to
you
only
gender biased?
not gender biased. Our topics are not related to only males, it's related related to everyone. So join us on Zoom and come and let's have fun, let's learn together. We'll also try and live stream on Facebook if possible. Plus, please, the link will be left under this video, and please let's come together on Friday to Saturday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time, 6 p.m. Ukraine time. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you
Alpha.
very much.
God bless you. Have a lovely week. Bye-bye.